And we continue now with Frank Luntz and his focus group of Arizona residents. They are all fired up about their state's new immigration law, which is now on hold. All right, Frank, here's my question. I paid very close attention. I love the passion in the debate that was going on there. My question is, because a lot of people expressed concern about racial profiling. Not only does it not encourage racial profiling, it specifically prohibits it. And I want to ask you, why did they understanding that, and that the president totally, completely mischaracterized the bill, and does that bother them?
Let's ask them. First question, this comes from Sean now. Do you realize that the legislation actually discourages, prevents racial profiling? You realize that? Yes. Why are you nodding your head no?
No, because the policeman is going to stop you because you look like you might be illegal. Who's going to look like they're illegal? Maybe not me because I'm light-skinned, but definitely my parents and my grandparents, not to mention my great-grandparents.
But it is also, but it is specifically prohibited.
Right, but who is going to be asked for their proof of residency? It's not going to be the Canadians here illegally. It's not going to be the English people here illegally. It's going to be the people with dark brown skin who are here legally.
If you get pulled over and you do not have your driver's license, that's when they're going to ask for proof of, do you have a birth certificate? Do you have a green card? Do you have an employment authorization? Don't you think they should? That's not what? It's not in the amendment. It doesn't say you can't do that.
I've been personally pulled over myself, and it wasn't because I was doing anything illegal. It was because I was a Hispanic woman driving a vehicle that was large enough to carry a lot of people, and they felt that it was necessary to search. There was no right.
And you... Go ahead, Sid.
I mean, were you coming across the border at the time?
I was driving to the city.
Especially like Phoenix PD or any of the other local PDs have time to sit and harass people. It's just ridiculous.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question now. I want a show of hands. Is this the responsibility? Who has failed? The state or the federal government? How many of you believe it's Washington who's failed? Wow. Do you guys got that? Do you got the white shot? Everyone in this room, by the way, everyone hasn't agreed on anything since the Revolutionary War. So, Sean, clearly they understand, or they hold Washington accountable for it. Yeah. What else can I ask them for you?
Well, first of all, the president specifically mischaracterized this bill when he said, well, you walk into an ice cream shop with your kid, and they're going to be asking for your papers. Frank, there are 42 states that require that you have identification on with you, and when I get pulled over, one of the first things they do is they check and see if there is a warrant for my arrest. They do that for everybody. Go ahead.
Okay, guys, 42 states require identification. What's wrong with Arizona requiring identification?
Nothing's wrong with that. You have to be able to let law enforcement do their job, and you have to be able to identify people so you can identify people that are doing things illegal and what about the law.
And even if you were driving and pulled over, you're still required to carry some kind of documentation, whether it's...
Here's the real problem. We've got 460,000 illegal immigrants in the state of Arizona right now. So let the police do the work. They're only going to stop people that are involved in crimes. Their job is to solve crimes.
In my neighborhood, there's a section where there are day workers. The day workers I see harassed by the police all the time, yet the prostitutes on the other block are never pulled over by the police.
And why is that?
While they're Hispanic, the day workers.
Are you calling the police racist?
Yes, I am.
Who would call the police racist in this room? That is a very tough thing to say. I don't know what to say. Sean?
Frank, last question. I want to run very quickly. I know you dialed up this ad. We have an Alabama gubernatorial candidate. His name is Tim Jones. Let's throw to this, and you dialed it, and we'll explain it when we come back.
Yep. I'm Tim James. Why do our politicians make us give driver's license exams in 12 languages? This is Alabama. We speak English. If you want to live here, learn it. We're only giving that test in English if I'm governor. Maybe it's the businessman in me, but we'll save money. And it makes sense. Does it to you?
93 Republicans, 62 Dem. Those are big numbers, Frank.
Sean, of all the ads we've tested, I don't think there's any that have been so controversial and done so well as this one. How many of you agree with that ad that English should be the primary language? Raise your hand. Almost everybody, including, and you're Hispanic. So you agree with
including
that?
myself, but you know what? I have a friend who is a United States citizen with a strong Mexican accent. And she's going to be harassed because of that. She's a U.S. citizen. She went through to get her citizenship. So you know what? Her Spanish isn't, her English isn't clear.
Okay.
But she speaks it and she knows it.
I got to go on.
All right.
Sean, this issue is not going away. It's controversial. You came to the right place here in Phoenix.
Right.
You guys are fantastic.
Hey, by the way, Frank, a great focus group. Thank everybody for participating. And still ahead, imagine being